Hello everyone. In the earlier session, we discussed about the provisions in relation to the set off and carry forward of losses, wherein we understood about the meaning of set off, which means adjusting the negative incomes of the previous year with the positive incomes of the same previous year. So, in case of set off, both the negative income and positive income, in other words losses and gains, both will be related to same year and they can be adjusted against each other subject to certain conditions, and these adjustments can be done with another source of income or another head of income. Then what is carried forward? Carry forward of losses means that is taking 1 year's negative income to subsequent years and then setting off against the positive incomes of subsequent years, once again subject to the restrictions and conditions mentioned in the Act. Of course, subject to also for a time period within which that carry forward of losses is possible. In this set off and carry forward provisions, we have particularly focused yesterday on the set of provisions which have broadly two categories. One is inter-source adjustment, two is inter-head adjustment. Inter-source adjustment provisions are contained in section 70, and according to this section, any loss in respect of one source of income can be adjusted against the profits of another source of income under the same head of income, within the head but different source. These two can be adjusted against each other. That is possible. Of course, in this case, both the incomes, positive and negative, are occurring within the same head of income. Examples of that also we have taken. Loss from one house property can be set off against income from another house property. Loss from one business can be set off against income of another business. Of course, when we only talk about set off, we are talking about both loss and profit occurring in the same year. That is what set off of losses means within the same head of income, that is intra-head adjustment, or we can also call it inter-source adjustment. Of course, this inter-source adjustment has certain restrictions. In other words, in the following cases, inter-source set off is not permissible. And very clearly, everybody has to be very much thorough with these provisions, not to enhance the application of provisions according to our thoughts. Whatever the law says, to that extent only we have to apply that. What the law says? It says long-term capital loss cannot be set off, even though it is within the same head of income. So, within the same head of income, what will be the other gain against which this has to be set off? There are two possibilities. Long-term capital loss probably can be set off against long-term capital gain or short-term capital gain. Are they both allowed? Answer is no, because this is falling in the not permissible list. So, the long-term capital loss cannot be set off against short-term capital gain. All other ways are possible. Means long-term capital loss can be set off against long-term capital gain, no problem. Short-term capital loss can be set off against long-term capital gain also, short-term capital gain also, no problem. So, within the capital gains head of income, three different types of set offs are possible. One set off is not permissible. What is that not permissible one? Only one, that is in the heading. Long-term capital loss not possible to be set off against short-term capital gain. That is one restriction on inter-source adjustment or intra-head adjustment. Same way, speculation loss and loss from specified business, we can understand them in a similar logic. Both speculation loss and loss from specified business can be set off against the profits of similar business. In other words, speculation loss can be set off against any other profits of other speculation business. Loss from specified business can be set off only against the profits of any other specified business only. So, speculation loss as well as losses from specified business, both of them can be set off only against similar profits, not against any other profits. Once again, is vice versa true? No. Can loss from a normal business be set off against profits of speculation business? Absolutely yes, there is no problem. Same way, loss from normal business, can that be set off against profits from specified business? No problem. That is not a problem. What is a problem? Loss from speculation business, loss from specified business cannot be set off against the profits of normal business. That can be set off against profits of speculative business and profits of specified business respectively. That is a important aspect to note in the restrictions or exceptions to section 70. Then loss from the activity of maintaining and owning racehorses also is similar. That can be set off only against income from that activity, same activity. Which activity? The activity of owning and maintaining racehorses. This loss cannot be set off against any other income. But point to be noted here, this activity comes under which head of income? Income from other sources. Is this a kind of casual income? Answer is no. This is part of income from other sources, but it is not a casual income. It is a separate line of activity which is separately taxable, and any loss arising from such activity of owning and maintaining racehorses can be set off against the profits of such activity only. That cannot be set off against any other profits within the same head also. Same head means which head here? Income from other sources. So, this first point is related to capital gains head. This B and D are related to PGBP, and this C point is related to income from other sources. Within the same head also there are restrictions of set off. That is why we call them inter-source set off is not permissible in the following cases. These are the 4 cases where it is not permissible. Of course, there is one thing, common sense point, always it cannot be permissible, because if there is any loss from an exempt income which would have been otherwise exempt if it was a profit, now just because there is a loss, that cannot be set off against profits of any other income, not at all possible. Examples can be taken like share of loss from a partnership firm. Can that be set off against any income? Any income? Not possible, because basically this loss is coming from a source which is basically exempt. So, loss from an exempt source can never be set off. Forget about whatever the head of income is. It is impossible to set off any loss from an exempt source. Other examples can also be taken. For example, if a member of a HUF gets a loss, share of loss from HUF, can that be set off against his personal profits of any other business? Not possible, because it is an exempt income itself. Just because it has loss, we cannot say I will set off, because if there was profit, that would not have been taxable anyway. So, when an income itself is exempt, when the source of income itself is exempt, such source, if it results in loss, that loss cannot be set off at all. Same with agricultural loss also. Somebody has a loss from agricultural activity. Actually, most of the farmers will get loss only. Can that loss be set off against any other incomes that they have, if any? Answer is no, they cannot set off. Why? Because that loss is coming from an exempt source of income. That is why that cannot be used for set off against any other head or any other income for that matter. Completely, that is just impossible to set off a loss which is arising from a source that is exempt from tax. Very crucial point, common sense point. No need of a provision. But provisions are these 4: long-term capital loss, speculation loss, loss from specified business, and loss from activity of owning and maintaining racehorses. Now moving on to the inter-head adjustment which was contained in section 71. Inter-head means, as the name indicates, loss from one head of income can be adjusted against the profit from other head of income. Can that be done? Yes. 71 says it is okay. But of course there are exceptions here also, there are restrictions here also. Very important point. Here this adjustment is possible for any other head other than capital gains, which means what? Loss under the head of capital gains cannot be set off against income under any other head. Not possible. So this inter-head adjustment concept at all will not be applicable for the head of capital gains. Of course, all the things we are talking about will not be applicable for salaries anyway. Why is that? Because salaries will never have negative income. So we don't have to worry about set off and all. So salaries is excluded anyway. Capital gains is also excluded here for inter-head adjustment. Loss from the head of capital gains cannot be set off against income from any other head. Simple. Very important point. And another restriction here to be remembered specifically is loss from PGBP can be set off against other heads but not against the income from salaries. Of course, income from salaries always will be positive. Can the loss from PGBP be adjusted against that? Not possible. That is another restriction on inter-head adjustment. Same way, there is a restriction on income from house property also. However, this restriction is not on the head of income. This restriction is on the amount. So, can loss under the head of income from house property be adjusted against other heads of income? Absolutely yes, there is no problem, sir. But how much can be adjusted? Maximum only 2 lakhs can be adjusted against the income under any other head. If at all there is any loss under the head of income from house property more than 2 lakhs, such excess amount which could not be adjusted against other head shall be carried forward. No option but to carry forward such loss. However, in any 1 year, in any year for that matter, loss from the head of income from house property be adjusted only to a maximum amount of 2 lakhs rupees. That's it. That is another point to be noted in relation to inter-head adjustment. Of course, all the points of inter-source will apply to inter-head also naturally. Speculation loss is not allowed to be set off within the head also. How is it possible to adjust it inter-head? Impossible. Same with loss from the activity of owning and maintaining resources. Same with the loss from specified business of 35 AD. All these 3 cases will continue to have the restrictions even under inter-head adjustment also. Why? Because they have restriction even within the head. Even inter-source adjustment they were not allowed. There is no way that inter-head adjustment will be allowed for such 3 types of losses. So that is a continuation of same section 70 exceptions. The same exceptions to section 70 will continue to be exceptions to section 71 also. In addition to that, what are the new things to be remembered here? Basically 3 things we can say. Loss from PGBP cannot be set off against salaries. Loss from capital gains cannot be set off against any other head of income. Loss from income from house property can be set off against other heads of income, but only to a maximum extent of 2 lakhs rupees. These are the restrictions for set off of losses. Also, we have discussed this particular problem yesterday, if I am right. If not, let us start discussion of that. Before solving the problems, I hope everybody is thorough with the provisions and understood the logic of each of the provisions in relation to set off of losses, inter source adjustment, inter head adjustment. Both of them everybody should be thorough with. Now let us look at illustration 1. Yeah, I think we thought of discussing it today because we need to have a unique type of presentation for this type of questions, because the information will be very zigzag and we cannot just go in the same sequence of the problem. That is why presentation of these questions and solutions will be very important. So for that purpose, let us take this example, illustration 1. Mr. A, 35 years age, submits the following particulars pertaining to the assessment year 2021. Income from salary computed. When it is given computed, that means already standard deduction is given. So don't again deduct 50,000 and all. After that only this is 4 lakhs. That is a positive income naturally. Income from salary will be always positive. Loss from self-occupied property is there 70,000. Loss from lettered property is there 1,50,000, but both are under income from house property only. Business loss is there 1 lakh. Bank interest, that is on fixed deposit, received around 80,000 rupees. This is the income details of Mr. A. Now the question is, we need to compute the total income of Mr. A for the assessment year 2020-21, and these are the details we have in relation to income of Mr. A. Not only this question, observe carefully, for any other question in this chapter, there has to be a proper presentation. In fact, while solving the question itself, we have to be carefully, I would say, arranging our heads of incomes related information, then it will become easier. Otherwise, finally the answer will be looking very messy. So it should not be happen like that. So how it should be? The answer should be very structured. What should be the structure? Simply speaking, the answer should be structured in this way. Of course, everybody knows that there should be a heading. What would be the heading in this case? Computation of total income of Mr. A for the assessment year 2021. I am sure you all know that. So there is no point about heading. Once heading is there, particulars amount, that is for sure, that is also will be there. So whatever the particulars, and amount. In exam, you have to write full forms, just we are writing it for understanding purposes. So how this presentation should be ideally? So here, first of all, you go through the question. Unlike other questions, you have to read it thoroughly, then only you have to frame your answer, you have to have a structure to your answer. Read the question very thoroughly, identify what types of incomes are all there in the question. In this case, there are only very few, so it is easier relatively. But in future, there will be bigger questions also. Then also, you have to read the question very carefully. While reading, my suggestion is don't worry too much about whether this can be set off or not. Don't try to apply the provisions too much. While reading the question, only observe two things. Simple. Whether the income is positive, plus or minus. That's all. Naturally, there are only two options. Either the income will be positive income or negative income. There is no other third option. So, if there is a positive income, take it to the main answer. And in the same sequence, we know the sequence basically. Income from salaries, income from house property, then PGBP, then capital gains, then income from other sources. But wherever positive incomes are there in this case, income from salaries is there, that is how much here. Take two columns. This is, you can say, inner column, this is outer column. That is better because inner column can be used for calculations. So how much is the positive income here? In this case, what we have, that is 4 lakhs rupees. So 4 lakhs rupees is the salaries income, which is already computed, right? Now, another positive. Don't worry about negatives. Negatives will come to them later. Directly go to the positive incomes. All positive incomes, list them first. What is the other positive income? That is bank interest, that is 80,000. We know the head of income. What is bank interest? Falling under which head of income? It will be what? Income from other sources. Any interest income will be interest income from other sources normally. But give sufficient space, that is a key. Even in examinations, between two items of positives, give sufficient space so that you can show the calculations, whatever you are going to show in the main answer. So salaries, if you say 4 lakhs, leave space. Then income from other sources, write it in the inner column only. That is how much amount is 80,000. Here, positive income, 80,000 is there. Now, sorry. So when you have two positive incomes, both of them are written already here. Then look at negative incomes. Then you select this negative income can be set off against which positive income. That is a decision we have to take. One by one we can take, we can go in the same sequence. Let us take here, first of all, two things which are all there. What are those two things? Loss from self-occupied property, loss from let-out property. Doesn't matter. Ultimately, both are in the head of income from house property only. So what is the total loss under the head of income from house property? 70,000 loss plus 1,50,000 loss, total 2,20,000. So income from house property is what we are writing here, but it is negative. Negative how much? 2,20,000. If you write like that, that would be wrong. Why is that? You should remember the provisions, that is why. Income from house property loss can be set off against any other head of income, no problem. However, it should be restricted to how much amount? It should be restricted only to 2 lakhs, not 2 lakhs. 20,000 is allowed here, only 2 lakhs is allowed. Then the question comes, sir, what happens to the remaining 20,000? No problem, carry forward. Next year you can set off against any other income if it is positive from the same head later. So carry forward provisions will come to them later. Remaining will be carried forward, that's all. That's all we should know now. How much can be set off in the same year? Up to 2 lakhs only can be set off against any head of income. This also is okay, this also is okay. Since salaries is there already positive, we have set it off against this salaries income. This is income from house property. Now another question comes. Normally it can be a genuine doubt. Sir, what if we take 80,000 here, 1,20,000 here? What happens? Still 2 lakhs can be set off. Can this loss of 2 lakhs be set off against income from other sources? Is there any restriction? No restriction, because income from house property never had any restriction on the head. It only had restriction on the amount. So can this be set off against this to the extent of 80,000 at least? Yes, it can be. But is it prudent? Is it correct? Answer is no. Why? Understand the logic once again. Because here there is a business loss of 1 lakh. If business loss of 1 lakh is there, that cannot be set off against salaries. There is a restriction there. There is a block there. Business loss of 1 lakh cannot be set off against this salaries income because it was not permissible under the inter-head adjustment, not possible. So, would it be better if we adjust 80,000 here and leave no other profit so that we can set off business loss? Or is it better that income from house property loss be set off against salaries and entire amount is anyway available here for set off? Then use this 80,000 for PGBP loss set off. How much can be set off here? Not 1 lakh, because the loss is 1 lakh. Profit available in income from other sources is only 80,000. So we cannot set off 1 lakh. Only 80,000 can be set off. So remaining 20,000, what happens, sir, in this business loss? That can be carried forward. So the point to note is, business loss is better to be set off against other incomes. Because of that, income from house property is always better to be set off against salaries. We are not going to deal with this every time like that, because it is the first question. We have to understand it very thoroughly. So what we will do in the next question onwards, wherever we see a loss from house property, means negative income from this head of income, that is income from house property, immediately which head we will use first? Best head to use this is salaries. Why? Because other heads of incomes do not have the possibility of using salaries head for set off. Just take another logical flow once again. Salaries can never have negative income for sure. Income from house property can have negative income. Can that be set off against salaries? Yes, that is possible. PGBP can be negative income, but can that be set off against salaries? No, restriction. Capital gains can have negative income, capital losses. Can they be set off against salaries? Capital losses? No, sir. That also is restriction, because loss under the head of capital gains cannot be set off against the income under any other head. So what is there remaining as a loss which can be set off against salaries? PGBP not possible loss, capital loss not possible. So loss from business not possible, capital loss not possible to be set off against this. Normally speaking, income from other sources will not have loss in general, except for owning and maintaining resources, rare things apart. If you just remember the income from other sources, what will be generally called as income from other sources? Interest, dividend, somebody won lottery, those things. Of course, lottery can never be set off. We already discussed that. Lottery income can never be used for set off, and any expenses are not allowed as deduction. So there is no way that there is any loss under any such kind of activities. So normally income from other sources, all of them, if you remember, be it royalty, be it interest, be it dividends, all these things, family pension, all these things are what? All are positive incomes only. Can there be a negative interest? Is it possible? We are not Japan. We don't have negative interest. Is there a possibility of negative dividend? We have to pay dividend to company because we invested in a company? Not possible. So all these things are just impossible to have negative incomes. Only possible negative income under income from other sources head could be loss from owning and maintaining resources. For that anyway, there are special provisions available. That also cannot be set off against salaries. So if you take one by one, what is the loss which can be set off against the head of salaries? There is no option, only one. What is that? Income from house property loss. So don't use this loss to be set off against other incomes, because salaries has a restriction, other incomes may not have restriction, particularly against PGBP. So when you look at the positive income of salaries and the negative income of income from house property, immediately set them off. Don't even think twice. Logic is all the things that we talked about so far, because there is no loss which is possible to be set off against the income under the head of salaries. Not at all possible. So when it is useful, then we have to use, no? It is useful only for what? Loss from house property. That's what we will use it here. So simply speaking, what will be the total of these two? That is going to be naturally 2 lakhs. What is going to be the total of these two? Nil. So what is the total income? Ultimately, that is going to be 2 lakhs only, and that is the total income of this SSE, whoever he is. We are talking about Mr. A. That is the presentation, the way we solve the question. This flow is very important. Okay, the way it is given here, it is little different. They will do according to their choice, but point is we have to follow a better structured model so that we can use this for any question. We cannot create a new presentation pattern for each question. That will be dangerous. So for any question, what we will do? Sir, simply we will take first all the positive incomes, leaving sufficient space. Wherever negative incomes are there, just write below the positive incomes and set them off. Write down whatever is the net result in the outer column. So there should be 2 columns compulsory. Inner column is for showing the calculations, outer column is for resultant. Finally, the total income of the SSE in this case is 2 lakhs rupees. That's it. That is how set off of losses from one head to another head, one source to another source will happen. Is that clear? That is set off of losses. Now we have to continue with the other provisions of carry forward. See, even in this case also, there are 2 things which should be carried forward. Though we don't know right now how many years they can be carried forward, but we should know there is a possibility of carry forward even in this first question also. What are the things which can be carried forward here? This balance of 20,000 loss, because 2,20,000 is the loss of income from house property actually here, 70 plus 150. But because of the restriction, we could set off only 2 lakhs. What happens to remaining 20,000? Remaining 20,000 loss from house property can be set off in future years. That can be carried forward to next assessment year and onwards. How to set it off? We will come to that carry forward provisions, but definitely this 20,000, can it be carried forward? Answer is yes. Same way, business loss also. Business loss, how much was originally how much business loss was there here in the question? It was 1 lakh. But how much we could set off? We could set off only 80,000, because income available for set off was only 80,000. This 20,000 cannot be set off against salaries because there is a restriction there. So we could set off only 80,000 according to the provisions. Means remaining 20,000 could not be set off in the same previous year. Which means what? Naturally that should be carried forward to the next assessment year. So there are 2 carry forwards which will happen even in this question. And whenever there is a carry forward possibility, you should write in the notes that this much amount should be carried forward for these many number of years. Right now, we know that it can be carried forward, but how many number of years this can be carried forward? That's what we are going to study in the upcoming provisions. So one by one, once again, head by head, we have to understand what are the carry forward provisions that are applicable head by head. Should we start with salaries? Of course, no, sir. Why? First of all, salaries cannot have loss. When there is no loss, there is no possibility of set off. When there is no set off, there is no possibility of carry forward also. Carry forward can happen only for losses. When there is no loss, how can there be carried forward? So point is, salaries has no relevance when it comes to set off and carry forward provisions when we do set off. But salaries income can be used to set off the loss of house property. Income of salaries can be used for setting off against the loss from house property, but there is no possibility of having a loss from salaries itself. That is not possible. So where the losses will start in the heads of income sequentially, naturally, income from house property is the first head where there are possibilities of losses. And when we are talking about carry forward, only when the set off was not possible in the same previous year. If it was possible, done, there ends the matter. If it could not completely be done, then remaining can be carried forward to future years. Then that can be set off against the positive incomes of that particular year in future. So first of such carry forward and set off, always these two are words which are twins. Always we have to keep these two words similar, right? So this carry forward and set off, both are not different. They are one phrase only, carry forward and set off, right? Set off is only a standalone. Carry forward and set off is put together one word, we can say, because once the loss is carried forward, it has to be set off. In order to be setting off it in future years, it has to be carried forward first. So carry forward and set off happens in future years in relation to any particular head of income. So starting with income from house property, how can it be carried forward? Let us see that. We know all these things already known. In any assessment year, loss from income from house property shall be set off only up to a maximum of 2 lakhs rupees against any other head of income only in the same year. However, the unabsorbed loss, means which could not be set off, in our earlier example say 20,000 rupees, could be carried forward to the following assessment year to be set off against income under the head income from house property only. Now the point has come. So within the same year, there is a possibility of inter-head adjustment for loss from house property. Yes or no? Definitely yes. Because loss from house property could have been adjusted against any head of income actually. There is no restriction at all on the head of income. The restriction was only on the amount. But once that loss becomes a carried forward loss in the next years, in the future years, it cannot be set off against incomes of other heads of income. It can be set off against only and only income from house property. So inter-head adjustment is not possible for brought forward losses. Dot. Once again I am repeating, inter-head adjustment is not possible for brought forward losses. Inter-head adjustment under section 71 is allowed only for current year's losses and current year's profits. Once the losses are carried forward to future years, they can be set off against the profits under the same head. No other head can be used for setting off these brought forward losses from previous years. Very important point to be noted. Now the question comes, how many years this can be carried forward? All this story is not required. Simply it can be carried forward for 8 assessment years immediately succeeding the assessment year in which the loss was first computed. So understand this also very carefully. It will be carried forward up to 8 assessment years immediately succeeding the assessment year in which the loss was first computed. So for example, we computed here the loss for the assessment year 2020-21. After this, not including this, after this it can be carried forward up to 8 years. Why 8 years, sir? Logically speaking, let us say next year also there is a loss. That means it is 20,000 could not be set off, because it cannot be set off against other heads, only income from house property. So next year income from house property, again loss was there. So this 20,000 could not be set off. Again next year loss could not be set off. Again next year loss could not be set off. Like this, any number of years in future may not have positive income, so that this loss could be set off. But this process can extend up to 8 years succeeding the assessment year in which the loss is computed. In simple terms, this can be set off even in the assessment year 2028-29. Till that time, this 20,000 can be carried forward. In between these total 9 years, within this year, anyway it could not be set off, then only we are talking about carrying forward. So after the year in which the loss is computed, 8 more years, this loss can be carried forward and set off against the incomes of that year, but not any head, only same head, because we are talking about income from house property. The loss from house property which is carried forward from 1 year can be set off against the income from house property only related to future years up to 8 assessment years. That's all. That is a provision related to carry forward of losses under the head of income from house property. And how many years that can be carried forward? 8 years. Against which head it can be set off? Only income from house property. Now understand the same thing that we are talking about. Very crucial point. This note is always important. Once a particular loss is carried forward, it can be set off against the income under the same head in the forthcoming assessment years. That's what we were talking about, right? What did we think about this? In what statement we made? The inter-head adjustment is not permissible for brought forward losses. Brought forward losses of current year means carried forward from past years. Can the carried forward losses, brought forward losses, can they be adjusted against the profits of any head of income? Answer is no. They can be adjusted only from the incomes of same head only in the future years. Very important point. So this applies to actually every head, and naturally income from house property also. Salaries doesn't have any implications since it will never have losses. In fact, if you observe, capital gains also will not have any implications. Why? Because even within current year also, the capital losses cannot be set off against any other heads of income. So inter-head adjustment was not allowed for capital losses already. So naturally, when it is not allowed in the current year, how can it be allowed in future years? So for salaries, there is no need of looking at this point. For capital gains, there is no need of looking at this point because anyway it is not allowed. For income from house property, definitely this becomes important point because loss from house property related to 1 year can be set off against income from house property of any future years only. No other head of income can be used for adjusting that loss. So inter-head adjustment is not possible for carry forward and set off provisions. In set off, inter-head adjustment, inter-source adjustment, both are okay. Carry forward and set off, only inter-source, not inter-head. Inter-head is not possible. Within the same head only adjustment has to happen. So keep that in mind very clearly. Then coming to the carry forward and set off of business losses. So business losses means PGBP. Under the head of PGBP, whatever the losses are there in 1 year, and they could not be set off due to inadequacy of income, naturally, that can be carried forward and set off against which years? In future profits of subsequent years. And how this has to be set off? Look at the other points here. These are generic points only. Loss should be incurred in business profession, naturally, then only we are talking about PGBP. It should not be in the nature of loss of business of speculation, of course, because speculation business is always separate thing. Speculation business is always special. We are not talking about that. So what is the core point here to be noted in this entire PGBP? Same thing, nothing new here also. What is that? Loss from one business can be carried forward and set off against income from any other business, no problem. Within same head of income, there is no problem. But, however, loss carried forward under any circumstances can be set off against income from any head other than PGBP. So, loss from PGBP of 1 year can be carried forward and set off against income of PGBP only. Even though it is a different business, that's not a problem. Different source is not a problem. But can that happen to different head? No. Once again, the same thing is proved. What is proved? Inter-head adjustment is not permissible for carry forward and set off. Inter-source is okay. Loss from one business can be very well set off against the income of any other business in future years. There is no issue. However, PGBP loss cannot be set off against any other head of income. That is a point, which is the same logic which applied to income from house property also. That same continues with PGBP also. Nothing new here. Of course, speculation business is altogether a a different species. We'll come to that later separately. And another small sideline point is there, like for example, who can carry forward and set off the losses? Who can do that? Only the person who has really incurred the loss. In other words, the carry forward and set off possibility, that entitlement is there only to the person who has incurred the loss. If there is any successor of a business, they cannot carry forward and set off the losses. Successor of a business cannot carry forward and set off the losses, because loss can be carried forward only against the profits of the SSC who incurred the loss. But of course, this need not be worried too much. Why? Because normally, how the succession happens, it happens by inheritance only. So that is accept, he said. When this is accepted, everything is accepted. So mostly, when the succession happens by inheritance, then let us say father has done the business for a few years, he has some losses which are still to be set off against the profits of future years, and suddenly that person has expired and his son has taken over the business. Can the son use the losses for set off against the profits that he might get in future? Answer is yes, because here there is no problem. Succession by inheritance, even the successor of the business can also carry it forward. Other than this, a successor of business in general cannot carry forward and set off the losses of the predecessor. That is a sideline point, a small twist point, you can say. Not much useful for problems. If at all MCQ is there, that can be just remembered separately. But what is the period? That should be remembered always, because you have to mention that. A business loss can be carried forward for a maximum period of same 8 assessment years, succeeding the assessment year in which the loss was incurred. So if you observe, there is no much difference between the carry forward set off provisions of income from house property also, business loss also. Only difference is, in case of income from house property, there is a limit of 2 lakhs even now. Even for carry forward set off also, you cannot set off more than 2 lakhs. Maximum is 2 lakhs. And the reason here, the logic here of setting off happens after the losses are carried forward only against the same head, that is income from house property. Maximum period is 8 years there also, here also. Same with here, PGBP of loss under PGBP can be carried forward against PGBP of future years, but it cannot be set off against any other head other than PGBP. And how many years this can be carried forward? For a period of 8 assessment years, succeeding the assessment year in which the loss was incurred. That's it. That is about set off and carry forward of losses in relation to majorly the two heads of income, income from house property and PGBP. Salaries will not have losses, so don't need to worry about that. Income from other sources also will not have losses, actually speaking. As we discussed, the only loss possible there is loss from owning and maintaining resources, for which anyway there are special provisions. So we'll come to that special provision anyway later. And other than that, capital gains has a special provision already. Why? Because there is no carry forward and set off against other heads. Normally only set off is not possible against other heads. How can it be possible for other heads after carrying forward it to the next years? Not possible. So inter-head adjustment is anyway not possible for capital gains normally also. But for income from house property and PGBP, inter-head adjustment is okay. It is allowed for the current year's losses, for the previous year's losses. However, the same inter-head adjustment is not permissible if the losses are carried forward and set off in future years. That is the essence of all the core provisions related to this chapter. With these provisions, normally we should be able to solve all the problems. However, there are some more sideline provisions, special provisions. We will come to them in the due course. Before that, let us start with some of the other illustrations also here. Illustration number 2. Mr. B is a resident individual, furnishes the following particulars for the previous year 1920. Income from salary computed he is given, and that is one positive income. Don't worry about all negative incomes, directly go to another positive income, that is long-term capital gains. That's all. What is the total income chargeable to tax for the assessment year 2021? This has nothing to do with carry forward and all. Of course, there will be carried forward losses, but there are no brought forward losses which are to be set off against current year's profits. Now, same like earlier, let us take the same format. So what is the format here? Same format. Let us take salaries, first particulars, inner column, outer column, that is as usual. So just let us take one by one. So salaries is there, which is given here. Income from salaries, that's what you should write in the exam. Income from salaries, that is 45,000 already computed. Write it in the inner column. That is the first positive item we have. Then leave sufficient space. There is income from house property loss, business loss, and other speculative business loss, and short-term capital loss. All are losses. Only long-term capital gains is there, 19,000. Leave sufficient space and write it as long-term capital gains. That is amount how much? 19,000. So when you have 19,000 long-term capital gain and income from salaries of 45,000, these are the only two positive incomes. Then one by one you have to look at negative incomes and check whether the positive incomes are there against which this can be set off. Now, income from house property is there 24,000. What we discussed already, without a blink, immediately what we should do, that should be reduced from income from salaries. It should be adjusted against income from salaries, that is minus 24,000. Why? Because that is the best possible adjustment between these two items always, income from salary and income from house property loss. So salary will be positive, house property will be loss. Now, business loss is there, which is non-speculative. There is a restriction, this cannot be set off against income from salaries, no doubt. However, this can be set off against other positive incomes. Can this be set off against long-term capital gains? Of course, yes. But once again, we have to look at a point. First, should we do inter-head adjustment or inter-source adjustment? First, we should do inter-source adjustment. Without completing inter-source adjustment, how can we go to inter-head adjustment? That would be wrong. So this business loss, we keep it aside. So far, we have this salaries income, which is not possible to be used for setting off this 22,000. So leave it aside for the time being. Speculative business, though, anyway not possible. We know the restriction. Loss from speculative business cannot be set off against anything. It can be only set off against profits from another speculative business, which are not there. So just leave that 4,000. It is impossible to set it off against anything. Now we have short-term capital losses. Question comes, can short-term capital loss of 25,000 be set off against long-term capital gain? Yes or no? Always the questions in this chapter will be yes or no. What is the answer? Can short-term capital losses be set off against long-term capital gain? Yes or no? Answer is yes. They can be set off. What was the restriction? Remember that. Remember the restriction. Within the head of income, inter-source adjustment is not permissible for what? Long-term capital losses. Cannot be set off against short-term capital gain. But short-term capital losses can be set off against long-term capital gain. Here actually short-term capital losses are 25,000, but we don't have sufficient long-term capital gain to set them off. That is why how much can be set off? Only 19,000 can be set off. So what is the total of these two? Naturally 0. And what is the total of these two? That is, that is 21,000. And the total income of this SSC Mr. B is going to be 21,000. That is the final answer in this case. That is the answer. 21,000 is going to be the total taxable income of the SSC. However, here there are certain things to be carried forward that we have to identify. Of course, once we know entire carry forward provisions, then we can understand what are the things to be carried forward for how many years. For now, let us just understand whether they can be carried forward or not. First thing first, business income. Entire income from house property need not be carried forward because that is all completely set off now itself. So no carry forward as far as loss from house property is concerned, that story is over. PGBP loss 22,000 can be carried forward for 8 years. Loss from speculative business can be carried forward, not for 8 years. We'll come to that later, but now that the topic has come, only for 4 years. Then there is a short-term capital loss, that is actually 25,000, but 19,000 only could be set off. So there is a remaining 6,000 short-term capital loss that can be also set off for next 8 more years. We'll come to that later. So what are the things which can be carried forward here? Totally there are 3 things. 1, 22,000 rupees loss from PGBP, 4,000 rupees loss from speculative business, that is also PGBP, but it is special, separately you have to treat them, and 6,000 rupees short-term capital loss that should be carried forward for the future years, wherever we can set off against capital gains in future, if any, that can be done, but not possible to set it off against anything else within the same year. So we have to keep that in mind. Once again, capital gains is always a crucial thing. Long-term capital loss cannot be set off against short-term capital gains, but short-term capital loss can be set off against long-term capital gains. That's what we did. Up to 19,000 we could set off. Remaining 6,000 has to be carried forward, simply speaking. That's it. That is set off and carry forward provisions applied in another situation. Now this speculation business is a separate thing. No need to really do any great research about this. First of all, in the question, if it is given as speculation business, we know the provision already. Speculation business means wherever there is a loss from speculation business, that can be set off against only profit from speculative business. That's all. It cannot be set off against any other income at all, be it PGBP also, other head also, not possible. Interest source itself, we know speculative income has its restrictions. Forget about inter head. When inter source itself is restriction, inter head itself is not permissible, how there will be permissibility of set off and carry forward against other incomes? Not possible. So if it is not permissible in the same year, how can it be possible in the subsequent years? Not possible. So what happens? Yes, of course, this speculative business loss can be carried forward for a period of 4 years, but it can be set off once again against which income? Only income from speculative business. So, simple logic, loss from speculative business can be set off against the profits of speculative business in the same year. Even the same logic applies in future years also. Loss from speculative business which is carried forward can also be set off against profits of another speculative business only in the future also. Up to how many years? Maximum 4 years that can be carried forward. However, another issue comes lot of times ki, should we identify which business is a speculative business and all? I suggest you don't do that, because a lot of things that people might assume they are speculative business, they are not speculative businesses according to law. So I don't want anybody to create their own definition of speculative businesses. So clearly it is mentioned, loss from the activity of trading in derivatives also is not a speculative business. And if anybody is dealing with the shares, or where there is any company where income is only containing the head of interest on securities, house property, capital gains, income from other sources, or a company which is in the business of trading in shares, for all of them we cannot call it a speculative business. So with all these exceptions, ultimately what happens? Trading in shares also is not speculative, trading in derivatives, etc. is also not speculative. So you don't decide upon what is a speculative business and what is not. Better to leave it to the question. If the question says it is a speculative business, all that we need to know is treatment of that. How to treat the losses arising from speculative business? We can set off against the profits of another speculative business in the same year, or we can set off against the profits of other speculative business within 4 years from the in future. After the current assessment year, another 4 years it can be carried forward and set off against what? Against the same profits of other speculative business. Should it be same business? No need, sir. Same type of business is required. Same business not required. Other speculation business also is enough for setting off the losses of one speculative business. That is the losses of speculative business, where the carry forward period is not 8 years. The speciality here is that can be carried forward only for a period of 4 years. That is enough. No need of all this explanations and all that. Ultimately, they will lead to confusion rather than clarification. That is why I suggest not to worry about what is a speculative business and all. Rather than that, focus on the application of it, focus on the treatment of speculative business rather than knowing what is speculative, what is not. We will not be able to do that. A lot of complications are there in that, in reality. So that is none of our business. So simply apply the provisions of speculative business in such a way. Then the same thing actually applies to specified businesses also. We have seen that. Specified businesses under 35 AD, can the losses from specified business be set off against the profit of any other business? No, not possible, because there is a restriction on that. Within inter source also there is restriction. Intra head also, that means within the head also there is restriction. So what is the provision? We already know that. Loss from specified business can be set off against the profits of another specified business only. Another specified business only. However, the point here is there is no time restriction for the number of years for which this can be carried forward if there are no sufficient profits for set off of specified businesses losses. So normally for all the other things we have time restriction. Income from house property 8 years. Speculative business loss 8 years. Loss from PGBP 8 years. Speculative business loss 4 years, sorry. Loss from PGBP 8 years. And now loss from specified business, there is no restriction on time. It can be set off indefinitely. It can be carried forward and set off indefinitely for set off against the income from another specified business only. So loss from specified business cannot be set off against the profits of any other business. It can be set off only against the profits of other specified business. Should these businesses be same? No need, sir. No need at all. That was given in the example, for example. So somebody is having, let us say, a hospital with 100 beds. That is a specified business under 35 AD. Let us say there is a hotel of 2-star or above. That is a specified business under 35 AD. Can these two be set off? Absolutely yes, no problem. So not necessarily same business, but both have to be specified businesses. Loss should be from one specified business. Profit should be also from another specified business. Then only those two can be adjusted. That is the provision related to specified businesses, that is 35 AD. Then after the PGBP head is over, within PGBP what all we have? We have specified business, we have speculative business, and we have normal PGBP losses. All three are part of head of profits and gains of business or profession losses, how they can be carried forward and set off in future years. Income from house property, 2 lakhs restriction continues. 8 years is the time period to which the loss from house property can be carried forward, but can be set off only against the income from house property of subsequent future years. Same with PGBP also. The loss from business can be carried forward up to a period of 8 years. However, it can be set off against the PGBP income only in future. Same with specified business also. Same with speculative business also, but the time period changes. In case of speculative business, carry forward is possible only for 4 years. In case of specified business, the carry forward is possible indefinitely. Set off can happen indefinitely, carry forward can happen indefinitely, but such loss from specified business can be set off against the income from another or same specified business only. That is a point to be noted here in relation to PGBP set off and carry forward. Now coming to the capital gains, again nothing new here, because as we are knowing already, there is a restriction on capital gains always. If you remember the inter-source adjustment itself, there is a restriction. Inter-source itself, there is a restriction. Inter-source, what was the restriction? Long-term capital loss could not be set off against short-term capital gain. So when in the same year there is restriction, how can there be possibility of future years? Not possible. So it is going to be continuing. The restriction will continue for future years also. However, there is no restriction for others. Let us take one by one. Let us say short-term capital loss is there, which is carried forward. So can that be set off against short-term capital gain? Yes. Can that be set off against long-term capital gain? Yes. No problem. When there is a carried forward short-term capital loss, that can be set off against any type of capital gain, whether short-term or long-term. because even for current year also there is no restriction, carried forward also no restriction. Why? Because we are talking about same head of income. Head of income has not changed. Once again, inter-head adjustment is just impossible for carried forward and set off of losses. Inter-head is not possible. This is intra-head only. But inter-source, short-term capital loss can be set off against long-term capital gain also, short-term capital gain also, current year also, future also. So there is no restriction at all on this item. What about this item? Long-term capital loss. We have already restriction. That restriction will continue because same point which applies to current year will definitely apply to future also. So what this can be set off against? It can be set off only against long-term capital gain. So the long-term capital loss can be set off only against long-term capital gain. In the future years, that is going to be the same. In the future years, whatever the long-term capital gain might come, that can be used to set off long-term capital loss of this year, which is carried forward to future years. Short-term capital loss, there is no restriction. Long-term capital loss, there is restriction. Simple. And other things we know already. Loss under the head of capital gains, can it be set off against any other head? Current year also it is not possible. How will that be possible for future years? Just impossible. So forget about this. Loss under the head capital gains can be set off against only under the head of capital gains. So nothing new actually when it comes to the carry forward and set off provisions of capital gains, because already there are restrictions. We don't need to put any new restrictions here. Same restrictions will continue for carry forward of losses also. What are the restrictions? Long-term capital loss cannot be set off against short-term capital gain, but it can be set off against only long-term capital gain in future years. That's it. What is the time period here? Same, there is no new thing here also. What is the time period for carry forward? Even for capital gains also, losses under the head of capital gains also, 8 years immediately succeeding the assessment year in which the loss was first computed. So income from house property 8 years, business losses 8 years, and capital gains losses 8 years also. But what is 4 years? The loss which is related to speculative business, that was 4 years. And what is infinite? The loss arising from specified business. So this is the time period for which the carry forward of losses is possible into future. Okay, that is a point here to be noted. Now there is a separate point to be noted when it comes to the capital gains. As we know, there are certain changes in the provisions that happened recently, where there is a long-term capital gain more than 1 lakh rupees arising from the sale of equity shares or units of equity-oriented mutual fund or units of business trust on which STT is paid. All this nonsense, what are we talking about? We are talking about listed equity shares. Listed equity shares, if they are resulting in any long-term capital gain exceeding 1 lakh rupees, we know that is going to be taxable. That we know. So what is the point here to be noted? It is taxable under 112A at the rate of 10%. This is something already we know from the capital gains chapter. But what are we bothered about here now is not about the gain, it is about the loss. So the point here is the long-term capital loss on sale of such shares or units can therefore be set off and carried forward for set off against long-term capital gains only. So this long-term capital loss can be set off, can be carried forward for future years. However, it can be set off against what? Against long-term capital gains only. That we know already. That is the same thing extended to even listed equity shares also. Long-term capital loss can be set off only against long-term capital gains of future years. Same thing that applies here in relation to section 74. Okay, that is related to listed equity shares or units of equity oriented funds. That is about long-term capital losses. With this, the carry forward provisions are also over in relation to most of the types of incomes. In addition to this, before solving these questions, let us complete another small discussion on owning and maintaining race horses, maintaining the horses losses arising from that activity, that also let us complete. This is also nothing new, already what we discussed is going to be repeated. What is that? Already we know that. What is the provision we know? Losses incurred by the SSC from the activity of owning and maintaining resources cannot be set off against the income from any other source. So it can be set off only against what? Against the income of same activity of owning and maintaining resources. If it is not possible to be set off in the same year, is it possible to be set off against other incomes in the future? Absolutely not possible. So the same restriction in relation to this type of activity continues for carry forward also, because there is a restriction in set off itself. When there is a restriction in set off of the current year losses itself, naturally the same restriction will continue for future years profits and losses also. Hence, the losses from the activity of owning and maintaining resources, not only now, even after carrying forward also, can be set off only against profits of maintaining and owning resources. But only once again, main point here to note is, here also the maximum period for which these losses can be carried forward is only 4 years. 4 years. So 4 years is the maximum time period for which these losses can be carried forward. Which type of losses? The losses arising from activity of owning and maintaining race horses. Right? That is a point here to be noted. We don't need to be really interested in stake money, horses and all this. These are all terms. Yes, those will be important practically, and I don't think at this age we should be really interested in these gambling type of activities. Nothing of this entire table is going to be useful for our exam purposes. It's all general knowledge. Better not to have that knowledge. Only remember the provision. The provision is simple. The loss arising from the activity of owning and maintaining resources can be set off against the profits of owning and maintaining resources only, whether it is current year or even carried forward and set off also is possible only against same activity profits. However, how many years it can be carried forward? 4 years it can be carried forward. Within 4 years, if it could not be set off, it will lapse. That is what happens. So there are two things where there are 4 years carry forward restrictions. You should remember them. One is speculative business. Second one is loss from the activity of owning and maintaining resources. And both of them have the same restriction. Both of them can be set off against same type of income only. Specified business also has same restriction, but it doesn't have restriction on the number of years. Specified business loss can be set off against the profits of specified business only, but number of years for which it can be carried forward infinitely. There is no restriction on time period. That is another point to be noted when it comes to set off and carry forward of losses. In general, what should be the sequence of set off? This can be sometimes little bit confusing. Lot of times you may get this doubt. What should be the order of set off of losses? There will be lot of profits, where to start, what order should be followed. There is no rule actually. Nobody has actually mentioned particularly that it should be in this order only, but from the provisions of the Income Tax Act, so that the best beneficial order can be given to the SSC, this is the order that we should follow. This you have to remember well. This order has to be remembered very well. What is the order here? This is the total order of set off of losses should happen. First thing first, current year depreciation. Means without current year depreciation being first adjusted, you cannot set off the unabsorbed depreciation. That is for sure. Current year capital expenditure on scientific research, current year expenditure on family planning, to the extent allowed, all these things have to be given. So first of all, definitely the preference should be given for current year's expenses. Whether it is depreciation under section 32, whether it is scientific research expenditure under section 35, or family planning expenditure under section 36. In all cases, current year expenditure should be first deducted. If it is not possible to be fully absorbed, then it will be carried forward to the next years, that we know. But first of all, preference has to be given for current year's depreciation, current year's capital expenditure on scientific research, and current year's expenditure on family planning. Once that is over, brought forward losses from business or profession have to be set off. Brought forward means which were the losses related to previous years, earlier years, those were carried forward then. Now we are bringing them now. We call them brought forward losses. So those brought forward losses have to be adjusted after the current year's losses, current year's expenses are all adjusted. Then comes the other three things: unabsorbed depreciation, then comes the unabsorbed capital expenditure on scientific research, then comes the unabsorbed expenditure on family planning. And one point again you have to remember, if you remember the PGBP provisions carefully, all the three things, C, D, E, all the three have one common point. What is that? All of them can be carried forward indefinitely. There is no time restriction on them. That is why these three should not be done first. First, only current year things has to be set off. Then brought forward losses, normal business losses should be set off. Then only unabsorbed depreciation, unabsorbed capital expenditure on scientific research, unabsorbed expenditure on family planning, all these things have to be done later. This is the order that we should follow. Of course, in the problems we may not be using it quite frequently, but if there is any dilemma, should we do the current year's things first or past year's things first? Common sense says current year's things should be done first, then only the past year's things, brought forward things should be adjusted. That too. Can we first do the unabsorbed depreciation adjustment before adjusting the brought forward business losses? That doesn't make sense. Once again, why? Because brought forward business losses have a restriction of only 8 years. This has a possibility of being carried forward indefinitely. So why to use these things first? First, which we have to use? We have to use, first of all, the brought forward business losses. And these things, all these things can be done later. That is why whenever there is a dilemma in that, first current years, then brought forward business losses, then only all the three things will come. This is the sequence in which the adjustment or set off can happen, particularly in relation to PGBP, head of income. That is about the set off and carry forward of losses. There is one more small point in relation to return of income. Should the return of income be filed? Of course, we'll come to that later anyway. Under section 139, we have provisions in relation to return of income as part of assessment procedures in future. However, just because the topic has come, in all cases except income from house property, in all cases loss cannot be claimed to be set off unless there is a return of income. Simple. So simple point is, a loss return should be filed. Loss return should be filed for sure. Without filing them, you cannot say suddenly filing a return now, telling that, sir, actually in the last 4 years I got losses, I didn't file, now I am setting them off. Not possible. Losses, set off, carry forward, all these things are only possible when? Only when there is a return of income that has been filed. That is common point we have to remember. So return of losses, popularly called as loss return, that has to be filed. Then only any loss, be it business loss, speculative business loss, specified business loss, capital gains loss, loss from activity of owning and maintaining resources, all these losses can be set off and carried forward only and only if the loss return has been filed. Only exception is loss from house property. Means what? Even though the return of income is not filed, loss from house property can be carried forward and set off. Also, unabsorbed depreciation is another exception. These two exceptions are there for loss return being compulsory. Other than these two exceptions, we don't need to go through all those things. Simply speaking, other than loss from house property, other than unabsorbed depreciation, for any other loss to be claimed for set off and carry forward, any other loss, for all of them, compulsory rule is a return has to be filed. Without filing the return, those losses cannot be set off, cannot be carried forward also. That's it. With that, we can conclude the provisions part of this particular chapter, that is set off and carry forward of losses. Read through these provisions very thoroughly, understand them. It's a very logical chapter. Understand them very well and according to your understanding and thoroughness, we will solve the problems also in related to this topic in the coming classes. And before solving the problems, as usual, everybody should be thorough with the provisions. Without provisions, there is no point, no logic, no reason, or doesn't make sense in solving any problem. So before that, which we do in the next session, everybody is expected to be thorough with all the provisions of set off also and carry forward also. Actually, carry forward is just a I would say procedural thing that you should remember, because at the maximum what is there in carry forward and set off, only number of years you should remember. That is quite easy. But majorly what you should remember as logical things, conceptual things here is set off restrictions, inter source, what all can be set off, what cannot be set off, inter head, what can be set off, what cannot be set off. That restrictions you have to be 100% thorough with. That will be the major test in the exam also. That will be the major point in all the questions that will appear in the exam also. In addition to that, carry forward, of course, will be there. Certain incomes or losses actually cannot be set off in the current year. There will be something remaining. For them, you have to write a note in the exam also that, boss, these are the incomes or losses which could not be set off in the current year. So they will be carried forward. And if you write clearly how many years they can be carried forward, that will be fantastic. That is why carry forward provisions are more useful for note rather than actual problem solving. Actual problem solving will be mostly on set off. Of course, marks will come for both, that we know. So a 5 marks question, 4 marks question easily, compulsorily can be expected from this. There are cases where even 7 to 8 marks questions were given also in the earlier exams. So very, very important chapter, but simple, straightforward, logical provisions, more thoroughness in the provisions, very easy to solve the questions. If we try to mess the things up, if we try to go front and backward with circles in the brain, then it is difficult. That should not happen. And when will that not happen? Only when you read the provisions again and again, keep them in the memory very thoroughly, then there will not be any confusion. This is one of the simplest and very scoring topics. Take the advantage of that is what I can suggest you. But before we solve the questions in the next class, be very thorough with all the provisions, right? Then we will move ahead with the solving of various questions in the next session. Till that time, I'll take leave. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.